It's your man, Rubber Zoo here, man. Back at y'all again, Rubber Reacts. Hey, man, I got a special one today, man. I think this one, not really special, just a story that I was really uh, like, it was, this story was really important to me because I saw Hurricane Chris in this situation where he had to shoot someone because they tried to steal his car. And when he first got locked up and you first heard the story, all you heard was Hurricane Chris shot somebody trying to steal a car. And the way the news made it out, or you know how it is with social media when they first put it out, they made it seem like as if he was the one trying to steal a car and killed somebody. But no, it come to find out, no, a person tried to steal his car. He told the guy was reaching for something as he walked came out the store. And told the guy what he doing in his car. Like the dude was reaching for something. He told the dude don't reach. And when the dude started reaching, they said he shot and killed the guy. So I was glad that it wasn't one of those normal, regular stories that you hear about rappers they getting killed, shot up, or doing some dumb shit, or somebody trying to do some dumb shit. Well, somebody tried to do some dumb shit and they got killed. So so we about to listen to this right here. It looks like the family of Hurricane Chris and the family of the victim are speaking about the trial. So we about to see exactly what's going on with what each side of the family is saying. So let's go.
After the fatal incident, Christopher Dooley, also known as Hurricane Chris, was acquitted of a fatal shooting in a Shreveport incident. Christopher Dooley, also known as Hurricane Chris, was acquitted of a fatal shooting in a Shreveport gas station parking lot. Tonight, we're hearing from families of both sides who squared off inside a Caddo courtroom. It was certainly an emotional week for both families, the Dooley family and the family of Denzaria Ferris, who were stunned by this week's acquittal by a jury.
One of the reasons why they probably could be stunned is that normally the time when a black person uses a gun, even when it's even in self-defense or something like that, they usually are found guilty of some kind of crime or something like that, and they have to spend some time in jail or prison or something like that. But I could see how they were shocked that he was found not guilty. And I've actually been to trial twice on some very serious stuff and was found not guilty myself. So I know how it is to go through a trial and be found not guilty. It's very stressful. Very stressful.
KSLA News 12's Alexandria Savage, the only reporter inside the courtroom throughout this trial, and you've stayed in close contact with both families.
Absolutely. I was there for most of the testimony. We heard from multiple states' witnesses, and we heard from a couple of witnesses from the defense's side as well, Dooley being one of those witnesses. Here's the story. A case of self-defense.
I knew he was fearing for his life.
And I think Louisiana, they have like a stand your ground law similar to Florida, and I think Texas, where you don't have to run. And if somebody's reaching for something and you're afraid for your life, yes, you can pull the trigger. Or if they hit you, especially in Florida, you don't. If somebody punch you, you don't have to run. You pull out your gun and you shoot them right there.
So he would never pull a gun if he was not.
Now 34-year-old Shreveport native Christopher Dooley, better known as Hurricane Chris, shot 32-year-old Denzaria Ferris Jr. at this former Texaco station on Hollywood Avenue in Shreveport.
I was really, like I said, disappointed. I was somewhat mad, but not angry, because to me, I felt like justice was not served.
But ma'am, if the jury, and I'm telling you, and I had an all-white jury twice, like all white, from old age, middle age, young age, and everything. If you're found guilty of something, if they could find you guilty of something, they're going to find you guilty. But if they came back and said that he's not guilty, then there must be something that they proved that your son was doing. But, you know what I'm saying, I'm not happy at your loss. I'm sad that you had to lose a child because no parent wants to lose a child. But, you know what I'm saying, he did what he did. Let's go.
Mother of the deceased Ferris says she and her family are trying to move forward following the not guilty verdict. Two mothers, two families forever changed after their sons had a brief encounter.
I got the phone call and I rushed to the scene. At first, I didn't know what had happened. My son was in the back of a police car.
The men stood face to face for less than 2 minutes, that interaction resulting in Ferris being killed.
You have your son, you have your grandson, and you have all your family. But I always remember, I'm still missing my son. He can't come.
Ma'am, I understand. I understand. You hurt. But your son, and this looks like I got it on video. Like your son did something. You can't be mad at Hurricane Chris for defending himself and his property. That's what America make laws for.
Come back. I can't see him anymore, but you can see yours.
June 19th of 2020, both arrived at the Texaco minutes apart. Ferris approached a vehicle that had been driven by Dooley and opened the Mercedes S-Class door. That car...
See, you don't do that. You don't do that. Why are you opening somebody's door? Everybody, the number one rule, and especially in the black, one of the number one rules in the black neighborhood and the household, if it ain't yours, don't fucking touch it. I'm Haitian and I know that shit. Let's go.
The state argued was owned by Dooley's ex-girlfriend. Dooley then approached Ferris and drew his weapon. Dooley is off camera in this frame of the video, but has his weapon drawn and aimed at Ferris. One state's witness spoke about seeing the two men and Dooley looking scared and says he told the clerk there might be a problem outside. Following his purchase, the witness says he returned to his vehicle, and after hearing gunshots, he left the Texaco, he says, trying to put the incident out of his mind.
Oh, let me see something. He said something about the car being matching his girlfriend. Let me rewind that back one time.
S-Class door. That car, the state argued, was owned by Dooley's ex-girlfriend. Dooley then approached Ferris and drew his weapon.
Okay, so it was Hurricane Chris's ex-old lady. Okay. Let's rewind that back one more time so we can hear that back one more time.
That had been driven by Dooley and opened the Mercedes S-Class door. That car, the state argued, was owned by Dooley's ex-girlfriend. Dooley then approached Ferris and drew his weapon. Dooley is off camera in this frame of the video, but has his weapon drawn and aimed at Ferris. One state's witness spoke about seeing the two men and Dooley looking scared and says he told the clerk there might be a problem outside.
Look, we never heard of Hurricane Chris being in any trouble before this situation. As a matter of fact, he just went into obscurity. I mean, don't get me wrong. I had his players right on my phone. You know what I'm saying? That's just because I used to vibe with that shit back in the day. But Hurricane Chris ain't known for being like no troublemaker, at least outside of Louisiana like that. You feel me? The only thing we know is he was a rapper. And when we heard this was like after him being a rapper, and we never heard nothing from him again, and then boom, this right here. You know what I'm saying? He did do a couple freestyles back in the days trying to, continue his music thing, but he wasn't like no troublemaker like that. And then why it did do is you open up, you don't open up the box.
Following his purchase, the witness...
Hold on. Also, too, what I was trying to get to say is when somebody pulls a gun, they don't want to pull a gun. I'm a gun owner and everything like that. If something happens, I don't want to pull my gun out and have to, I'm waiting for something to happen and everything like that. No, I just keep it on me just in case something happens. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think Hurricane Chris, because it looked like somebody said it looked like he was scared, and he told the clerk, looked like we might have a problem outside, and he had this gun drawn on him like, bro, why you opening up my car door? For anything, you trying to get him away from your car. So let's go.
Says he returned to his vehicle, and after hearing gunshots, he left the Texaco, he says, trying to put the incident out of his mind. 2023 is the first time authorities reached out to that witness for a statement. Nearly 2 minutes after Dooley and Ferris encountered each other, Dooley fired the weapon, hitting Ferris 6 times, leaving him to bleed out on the ground. Dooley left the Texaco briefly before calling 911 and returned to the Texaco to turn himself in to police on scene. Ferris's mother watched the video with jurors repeatedly during the trial, saying she had to face it. She had this message for Dooley.
I just hope you find in your heart to do right towards everybody.
Throughout the 7 days of testimony, the state called 9 witnesses. A forensic pathologist showed the graphic and gruesome details of Ferris's fatal injuries. He also revealed that Ferris only had caffeine in his system when he died. The defense only called 2 witnesses, including Dooley. During that testimony, he stated, "Yes, I fired the weapon because I was in total fear for my life."
Knowing that you might not walk out with your son was the worst.
Look at all the rappers that have died. Like King Von, X, Testacion, Jacob the Jeweler, no, not Jacob, it was the Ruler or something like that. I forgot his name, my bad. Mo 3, Dolph, PNB Rock, Nip. Look at all these rappers that died. So for a rapper to have a gun and be willing to use it or having when they have to, I don't see I don't see nothing wrong with that. And he's a rapper, and rappers get killed, they eject, everything has been happening to rappers.
Feeling ever. I basically told them we walked in here together and we're going to all walk out together.
Manifesting the outcome of the trial, not guilty of second-degree murder or possession of stolen things.
I was actually standing down the hall when he came out.
And then possession of stolen things, if what was they trying to say that was stolen? And then if it wasn't stolen, the whole trial looks like it was in his favor. Everything that they charged him with, because when you're going through trial, every charge that they have you with, the state has to prove each and every last one of those charges. Now, if they can't prove it all the way, but they think that you're guilty of maybe something, they can give you a lesser included charge. They'll be like, well, we don't get him for the murder, but he was guilty of the stolen shit. But if the stuff wasn't stolen, that means they must systematically proven the defense that are beyond, or, you know what I'm saying, they gave some reasonable doubt that he didn't commit those crimes or whatever, or the stuff wasn't stolen and whatever. So it looks like the state just basically had a weak case. Let's go.
Out, he grabbed me, we hugged, and I said, I get to take my boy home.
Something Ferris's mother unfortunately will never be able to do again, but she's choosing to remember him how he was.
Now, that guy that was in the video, that wasn't him. That's him, but he did not look like that. That looks like a guy that, was in high school, college, or something like that, and going to work or something like that. The guy that they showed in the video looked like he was a homeless. Matter of fact, let's see. Let's get back to where. Let's see if we can find this right here. That's not this. That don't look nothing. No, the other guy had hair. This guy here, stress. He's been through a hard life right there. You know what I'm saying? He's been through a hard life right there. Let's go ahead and finish it off.
Walk out with your son was the worst feeling ever. I basically told them we walked in here together and we're going to all walk out together.
Manifesting the outcome of the trial, not guilty of second-degree murder or possession of stolen things.
I was actually standing down the hall when he came out. He grabbed me, we hugged, and I said, I get to take my boy home.
Something Ferris's mother unfortunately will never be able to do again, but she's choosing to remember him how he was.
The laughs, the same guy. The tears, the happy times, the good times, the bad times, the sad times, his voice, the things he did. Yeah, we're not going to ever forget him.
Mom,
Neither family will be able to forget this incident, but both said...
That's not the same guy that's in that photo. You know what I'm saying? He looks like he's been through some things. Look like he eating some chips out the bag or something like that, and he just opening up people's car. That's not the same guy, Mom. You know what I'm saying, Mom? I feel your pain. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I feel your pain, but unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, this happened to your son. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I wish peace to both sides of the family. I know Hurricane Chris and their family good, but to the victims or to the guy that got killed, because in this situation, Hurricane Chris was the victim and your son was the suspect and the assailant. and Hurricane Chris was protecting himself and his property. All right, then with that, y'all, I just want to say peace. I just want to give my little 2 cents on this story real quick, and catch y'all on the next one. Peace.